So today we are going to study about control statements. Control statements is nothing but the statements which control the flow of execution of a program. So far what we have studied is the program will execute sequentially. That means the program will execute line by line. So that means first the line number 1 will be executed, then line number 2, line number 3 and so on. So with the help of control statements, we can change this sequence. We can execute some line number 7 after line number 2 by skipping the statements between 2 and 7. So that is a general idea about control statements. So control statements embody the decision logic that tells the executing program what action to be carried out next depending on the values of certain variables or expression statements. So here we are making some decisions based on some expression values or based on some variable values. We will make some decisions whether to execute a certain set of statement or to execute other set of statement or to skip some set of statements. These are the decisions we have to make. These decisions are made based on some variable values or some values of expression statement. The control statements include selection, iteration and jump statements that work together to direct program flow. So the control statements is of 3 types: selection, iteration and jump statement. Selection means based on the particular condition we will select a block of statements or a group of statements to execute. So condition means it can either return a true value or a false value. Iteration means repeatedly executing certain number of statements based on the condition. So that those set of statements will be executed when the condition will be true. Jump statement means to skip certain statements or to avoid certain statements from execution can be done using jump statement. So anyway, we will study those things in detail. So this is the classification. So control statements is divided into 2: selection or branching, or iteration or looping. Again, this is classified into conditional type and unconditional type. Conditional type contain if else, if and switch. Unconditional type contain break, continue and go to. Then iteration or looping contains for, while or and do while. So we will see these things in detail. So today we are going to study about if, else if and switch. So here it is: one-way decision using if statement. One-way decisions are handled with an if statement that either do something or do nothing at all. The decision is based on a text expression that evaluates to either true or false. If the text expression evaluates to true, the corresponding statement is executed. If the text expression evaluates to false, control goes to the next executable statement. The form of this one-way decision statement is as follows. One minute. If within bracket there is a text expression and then there is an opening curly braces and a closing curly braces. Inside that we have some statements and after that we have some normal statements. So the meaning is, if text expression is true, statement T will be executed and otherwise statement block will be skipped. Statement block means this statement T block will be skipped and execution will jump to statement X. So here we have to make some decisions. Suppose if a particular condition is satisfied, I have to execute some number of statements, or I have to do something. That is about if. So in the real world scenario, you can imagine like that. Suppose in the morning you are going to college. So when you are going out of your hostel or your home, it is raining. So what's the decision you have to make? The decision you have to make is you have to take an umbrella. So if it is raining, take an umbrella. So then go to the college. So here you just think like that. Statement T means go to college. Text expression means is it raining? Sorry, here statement T means take the umbrella. Text expression means is it raining, and statement X means go to college. So if it is raining, you will take the umbrella and then you will go to college. So if raining condition is false, that means if it is not raining, this will not be executed. That means you will not take the umbrella, but you will go to college. So that is the meaning of one-way decision using if statement. So the decision is always based on some text expression which is written within bracket along with the F. We all know those text expressions will always return true or false. If it is true, statement T will be executed. After executing statement T, statement X will be executed. Statement T means here we can add any number of statements. This is the equivalent flowchart. There is a text expression. If it is true, we will execute statement T. If it is false, we are doing nothing. Then we will go to the next statement to be executed. Here in our general form, the next statement to be executed is statement X. Any doubt? Any doubt in if statement? Please respond. If it is clear, you just type clear in the chat box. Okay. So I will do the example program. Here my example program is write a program to read values of A, B, C and D and evaluates the ratio A plus B to C minus D if C minus D not equal to 0. So here first thing is I have to read 4 values A, B, C and D. Then I have to make a decision, or then I have to test a condition. The condition is whether C minus D not equal to 0. So if C minus D not equal to 0, what I have to do? I have to find the ratio between A plus B and C minus D. So here the problem itself is added as a comment or as a documentation part. So if you remember the structure of C program, you know the documentation part. Documentation part means that line will not be executed and it is not the part of the program. It is only for understanding to the user. So you just listen carefully. Here I have only one line of documentation, or it is also called comment. Comment is only for user understanding, not for computer. It is only for the programmer or for the user. So since I have only one line, I can use 2 forward slashes. Suppose I include it in 2 lines. So now you can see if this line number 2 changes its color. Earlier it is in some gray color. Now it changes its color. So it is considered as a part of the program. But here I want to do it as a comment. So what I will do? So I am making in 3 lines. So either I can add, so here also I can add 2 forward slashes. In line number 3 also I can add 2 forward slashes. Now line number 1 to 3 becomes a documentation part. So here I only want 3 lines. So it is very easy to add 2 forward slashes in every line. But suppose in the documentation part in some programs it may contain 100 lines. So in each and every 100 line it is difficult to add that 2 forward slashes. So instead of that you have another option also. So this is here the cursor is blinking here, and that denotes the beginning of command. So in the beginning of command you just add a forward slash and a star, and this after 0 the command ends. So there you can add a star and a forward slash. So this is also, in this way also we can do the documentation, or in this way also we can comment the lines. So comment the lines, it is no longer a part of the program. It will not be executed. Is it clear? Is it clear to give comments in multiple lines? In single line you can use 2 forward slashes. If you have large number of lines, you have to use forward slash followed by star at the beginning of comment, and in the end you have to give star and forward slash. Any doubt in documentation part? Please respond.
Sir, can we use any place this command, sir?
Anywhere
middle of the
in between the program also you can use. Anywhere you can use, no problem. It will not be treated as the program part. Is it clear? Please respond.
Sir, I didn't get Saket's question.
What's your name?
Sir, Naman, I didn't get Saket's question. I mean, what did he ask?
Okay, what Saket asked is, can we add this command anywhere in the program? Here in the earlier program also I added only in the beginning. You can add anywhere in the program. So in some example I will demonstrate it. In between the program also you can add comment. So if the programmer needs some explanation, or sometime I am writing the program today. So after 1 year I am looking at the program. At that time I can't understand what I have written, why I have included a certain line. For more clarity, you can write a comment along with the line also, along with the statement also. Is it clear? Is it clear, Naman?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So anyway, I am coming back to the program. Here I have 4 variables. So we have to add main. So here anyway I am going to calculate a ratio of numbers. So sometime it may give a fractional value. So it is better to declare the variables in float. Rohit PB.
Yes, sir.
How many variables are needed here?
3 variables.
What are they?
A plus B.
Is A plus B a variable?
No, sir.
Then how many variables are needed? How many variables are needed?
Yes.
So here, how many values I have to read?
Values of A, B, C, D.
Okay, values of A, B, C, D. So for that A, B, C, D, I have some variables. And also to store the ratio also I have one variable. I have to need one variable. So I am declaring 5 floating point variables. Float A, B, C, D, for storing ratio I am using a variable called ratio. Okay. Anu Fasmin.
Yes, sir.
What will be the next statement?
Scanf.
For scanf, you have to write a message. To inform the user, you have to enter such and such values. So what will you do?
Printf.
Okay, printf. Inside that, what will you write? Enter
Plus
values of, not percentage D, enter values of
A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D. Okay. Adarsh Kumar. Adarsh Kumar,
Yes,
what will be the next statement?
sir. Scanf, sir.
Scanf. Inside that, what will I write?
4%
4%
D.
D.
Sorry, sir. It is float value, sir. F. Percentage F.
Okay, very good. 4% F will be written. Then, comma.
Then comma and address and A comma and B and
Ampersand A
C.
comma, ampersand B comma, ampersand C comma D.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. D. So after this line, A will contain some value, B will contain some value, C will contain some value, and D will contain some value. Then we have to make the decision. What's the decision we have to make? If C minus D not equal to 0. So I have to use a if statement. If, within bracket, I have to write C minus D. Adidev,
Yes, sir.
how to write not equal to?
Exponential mark and equal to.
Very good. Exclamation mark is equal to, not equal to 0. One more thing you have to take care of is, you just put a bracket. You just enclose C minus D within a bracket. Because then it will make sure C minus D will be estimated, and then it will be compared with 0. Okay. So if C minus D not equal to 0, here I have opening braces and closing braces. I'm going to write some statements in between that or inside that block. So that block will be executed. If this condition is satisfied, this block will be executed. What I have to do? I have to calculate ratio. Ratio equal to A plus B. Here I am using division operation, so a forward slash is used. C minus D. Sorry. C minus D. Now ratio will contain that fractional value or some ratio value. So next thing is we have to print that ratio. Printf ratio equal to percentage F comma ratio. Is there any doubt in these two statements? Anybody have any doubt? Please respond. If it is clear, you just type clear in the chat box. Okay. Then I am executing the program. So here I have some error. Printf was not declared in this scope.
Sir,
Excuse me, sir.
percent C.
Okay, please ask.
Sir, in 8th line percent, C will be not there.
Okay, ampersand is there. Okay, thank you. Still that error is coming. Okay, okay.
Sir.
Okay, wait. The thing is, I have saved as CPP file. Actually, we are doing a C program. So save as .c. Okay, what's the doubt you have? Please respond. So someone unmuted the mic.
അതല്ല സാർ, ഈ സ്കോപ്പ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മള് മെയിന് മുന്നേ ഇടുന്ന ഒരു സംഭവം ഇൻക്ലൂഡ്
Okay, we will study later. Anyway, now you not don't bother about that. So there is local variables and global variables that we will study in third module. So here anyway this error occurred because I have saved using CPP.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, tell. What's your name?
Sir, Mayank.
Okay, Mayank. Tell Mayank.
Sir, in ninth line, semicolon is not will be not there.
Okay. Very good observation. So if you look at the syntax, so there is no semicolon. Here actually there is no semicolon. There also there will be no semicolon. It's a very important point. After condition, no need to put any semicolon. Semicolon means a terminating symbol. That means the statement is terminated. Here, starting and terminations are determined with the help of braces, opening braces and curly braces. So if we put a semicolon here, the statement within this block will not be executed. Is it clear, Mayank?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no need to put a semicolon here. If you put a semicolon, these two lines will not be executed. These two lines will not be executed. Anyway, I am executing the program and giving some values. 20. A will be 20. B will be 5. Then C will be 6 and D will be 3. So my expected output is 20 minus 5 is 15. 6 minus 3 is 3. So 15 by 3 is 5. So my expected output is 5. So about 20 minus 5 is, sorry. 20 plus 5 is 25. 25 by 3 is some 8.333 because 24 by 3 itself is 8, then 1 by 3 is 0.333. So this is the ratio. Is it clear? Suppose I am executing the program again and I am giving some values 5, 6, 2, 2. Here C minus D is 0 because C will get a value 2, D will get a value 2. So C minus D is 0. So the program will not produce any output. So there is no output here. I hope you understood if statement, simple if statement. Any doubt, please ask, otherwise I can move to the next control statement. Okay. So this example is enough. Anyway, when we do larger programs, there will be more if condition. At that time it will be clear. Okay. Then two-way decision using if-else statement. So I hope everyone will get an idea about if-else also. So two-way decisions are handled with if-else statement that either do one particular thing or do another thing. Similar to one-way decisions, the decision here is based on a text expression. The form of a two-way decision statement is as follows: if text expression, then statement T. Here statement T stands for true, else statement F. So, and then there will be a statement X. So it's very easy to understand. First, this text expression will be tested. So it will either return true or false. If it is true, some set of statements is executed. That means statement T is executed. If it is false, another set of statement will be executed. That is statement F. Then the remaining steps will be executed. Remaining step means statement X. So if the text expression If the text expression is true, statement T will be executed. If the expression is false, statement F will be executed. Then statement X will be executed. So I hope everyone is clear with this. Okay. So here I have an example program. Write a program to determine whether given number is odd or even. So make sure you save the program using .c. Otherwise the problem occurred in the earlier program will occur. So anyway, first line is for documentation. Here I have only one line, so I am using two forward slashes. Main. Advait.
Sir.
In this program, how many inputs will be there?
Two inputs.
That's the question.
Sorry, sir. One input.
One input. Very good. So one input. That is number. So I am giving as int num. It is a variable. Acknowledge Jose.
Yes, sir.
What will be the next statement I am going to write?
Sir, printf.
Okay, very good. Printf.
Printf. Enter the value of
Enter a number. That's enough. Enter a number. Akash Krishna.
scanf.
Okay, scanf.
Percentage f ampersand a.
What is percentage?
F.
Why you use percentage f here?
Sorry. Percentage d.
Okay, very good. Percentage d.
Ampersand a.
Ampersand?
Num.
Ampersand num. Okay. Alex,
Also.
how to check whether a given number is odd or even? So all even numbers are divisible by 2. Okay. So how we can check the divisibility in C program? Divisibility means remainder will be if a number is divisible by another number, then what will be the remainder? Okay, leave it. Anjana is Anjana, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So when I divide a number by some number, if the remainder means if it is divisible, what will be the remainder? Okay, leave it. What? Suppose I am dividing 8 divided by 2. What will be the remainder?
Four.
Remainder, not quotient.
Sir, 8 by 2.
8 by 2.
The remainder is 0.
Remainder is 0. Okay. So how to find the remainder in C program? So which operator? Yes, mod operator. Mod operator is used to find the remainder. So here what I am doing is if num mod 2 means that number will be divided by 2 and that remainder will be returned. The remainder while we are dividing that number by 2 will be obtained by num mod 2. So I have to compare whether it is equal to 0. Ankur Jaiswal. So
Yes, sir.
which relational operator I will use here to check whether that number is equal to 0? Check whether that number is equal to 0.
Equal to, sir.
Now how many equal to's will be there?
2.
2 equal to. Okay, very good.
2.
Okay, equal to 0. then printf even, then a semicolon, else printf odd. So I'm executing the program. I am giving a value 200. My expected output is even, so I got the output as even. Giving another output 301. My expected output is odd, so I got the output as odd. So the program is correct. Any doubt in this program? Please respond. Any doubt? Okay, thank you. Then I will move to the next one. Nesting of if-else statement. When a series of decisions are involved, more than one if-else statement is used in nested form as shown below. So this is an example for nested if-else statement. So just listen carefully. During the execution, first the expression 1 will be tested. So if it is true, what happens? If it is true, it will try to execute these statements. If this one is true, it will try to execute these statements. But in this block, what is the first statement? In this another text expression. So it will test this statement. Sorry, test this expression. If it is true, statement 1 will be executed. Okay. Suppose you imagine text expression 1 is true, but text expression 2 is false. Suppose this one is false. Which one will be executed? Statement 2 will be executed. What's the other case? Suppose if text expression 1 itself is false, then it will execute its else part. Else part will contain statement 3. That will be executed. Next statement X will be executed. Here what happened is, inside if we have included another if-else statement. Similarly, inside this else also we can include some if-else statements. So that is called nesting of if-else statement. So inside some if statement, some other if-else statement will be there. Similarly, inside some else statement, you can add another if-else statements also. Any doubt? Any doubt? Anybody have any doubt? Can we move to the example program? Here the example program is, write a program to find largest of any 3 numbers. So adding as a comment. Large underscore 3, sorry, 3 comma C. So I will ask some names. You have to say each and every statements. Okay. So if you remember that flowchart for largest of any 3 numbers, it will be very easy to understand this program. No problem even if you didn't remember that. Varsha Shibu.
Yes, sir.
What will be the first statement?
Main.
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 Okay, main. Varada.
Yes, sir.
How many inputs will be in this program?
Okay. 3.
3 inputs. So how many variables are needed?
3 variables.
Variables. Anyway, I need a minimum of 3 variables. So I'm declaring it as int A, comma B, comma C.
B, comma.
Okay, good. Tanush J. Tanush.
Yes, sir.
What will be the next statement?
printf,
Okay, printf. Inside that, what will you write?
enter 3 numbers.
Okay. Enter 3 numbers. Srishant J. Srishant J, can you hear me? Shyam Santosh.
Yes, sir.
What will be the next statement?
Scanf,
Scanf.
percentage D, 3% D,
Okay, 3% Ds are needed.
comma,
Comma.
ampersand A, ampersand B, ampersand C.
Okay, ampersand A, comma, ampersand B, comma, ampersand C. Okay. The next part I will write. So if you remember that from that flowchart, it will be more easier. So let me try to find that flowchart first. Is it visible? Please respond. Is the flowchart visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So start, read ABC. Up to that we have done. Then what's the condition I am going to check? I am going to check is if A greater than B. So I am writing if. So here it is capital letter, but here I have to use small letters because I have declared as small ABC. If greater than B. Then from if greater than B, I have a S part and also a no part. No part means else statement. S part means inside that if A greater than B. So I will give first I will type the structure of the program. So if and else. If A greater than B, again I am checking on condition. Is A greater than C? So I have to write inside this. If A greater than C. It also contains two parts. No and yes. No and yes. Okay, I will type the statements later. So this is the else for this condition if A greater than B. That means if it is no, if A greater than B is no, I will text the expression of B greater than C. If B greater than C. And I have an else part. Okay. So again compare this block, entire block and this flowchart. If A greater than C, what I have to do? Print A. Print A. That means I have to print value of A. So I am writing something like printf. I want to get an output like if I give 10, 3 and 6, I want to get the output as 10 is largest. So I am writing like percentage D is largest. Okay, in place of this percentage D, what I have to print? I have to print A. So I am giving comma A. Okay. So here some line numbers are missing. Line number 15, line number 22 and line number 26. So try to find those statements that to be filled in line number 15, line number 22 and line number 26. Shidin Raj. Shidin Raj, can you hear me? What I have to type at line number 15? Shidin Raj.
അറിയില്ല സാർ.
Arilla. Okay. So just look at the flow chart. First thing is read A, B, C. So line number 6 I have read A, B and C. Then I have compared on condition. Is A greater than B? That is written as an if statement. If A greater than B. Since it is true, I have checked one more condition, that is A greater than C? So it can also return no value or S value. So if it is yes, I have to print A. Here I have printed A is largest. If it is false, what I have to print? Shidin Raj, if it is false, what I have to print?
Larger അല്ലെന്ന്.
What is given in the flow chart? If it is false, what I have to print? You just read the statement. What is the statement written here?
Print C.
Print C. Larger allennu oru ezhuditilla mone. Print C ennu print cheyananu paranjittulla. They asked to print it as C. So here what will I do? I have to print value of C. So how will I print?
Printf.
Printf.
Percentage.
Printf. Percentage D. Okay, very good. I have to
Percentage D.
1 minute. I have to write a statement similar to this. Percentage D. I'm writing is largest. So in place of percentage D, I have to print C. So what will I do?
Comma C.
Comma C. പക്ഷെ ഇതിന് പറയാൻ പറ്റിയോ? അപ്പോൾ കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിരുന്നാൽ പറയാൻ പറ്റും. അറിഞ്ഞൂടാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടിരുന്ന അവിടെ അറിഞ്ഞൂടാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കാം. അങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കല്ലേ കേട്ടോ. പറയുന്നത് ശ്രദ്ധിച്ച് കേട്ട് മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, പ്രശ്നമൊന്നുമില്ല. ഷാൻ മുഹമ്മദ്.
Yes, sir.
What will be the statement at line number 22?
B. Print and percent B.
Okay.
Is largest B.
Okay.
Comma B.
Comma B. Very good. Comma B. Because here if B greater than C, then I have to print B. Here I have printed B. Shashikant Singh. Shashikant, can you hear me? Saksham Sedu. Saksham, can you hear me? Saksham, can you hear me? Saket Kumar.
Sir,
So what will be line number 26?
printf percent D is larger
Okay.
and here C.
Comma C. Okay. So if B greater than C is false, you have to print C. So this same statement will be repeating. So the program is completed. And now I hope you understood how to convert a flowchart to a program. How to convert a flowchart to a program. So I'm executing the program. I am giving 1, 2, 3, 2. 3 is largest. Again I am executing the program. I am giving 1, 3, 2. 3 is largest. I am giving 3, 2, 1. Again 3 is largest. So all the cases I have tested and found correct. So this program is correct. So someone One more thing. So now we're looking into the program itself. You know, this much statements are inside main. So it is very easily understandable because after braces I have put some space. So it is a very good programming practice to add some space from the margin, and after some time there's if statement. There's opening braces and closing braces. So those statements are written with further space. Now it is clear these much things are under this condition if A greater than B. And again this condition. Inside this condition I have only one statement. So further more space is given. So one more thing I want to convey here. So here inside this A greater than C, I have only one statement to execute. Listen very carefully. I have only one statement to execute, or I have only a single statement. So if it is a single statement inside a particular condition, the braces are not mandatory. The braces are not mandatory. So if there is more than one statement, you must put that bracket. If it is only one statement, no need to put that braces. It is not mandatory. Even if you put some braces, it is correct. Even if you didn't put some braces, it is also correct. Only if it contains only one statement. So here also, else contain only one statement. So this braces is not mandatory, not necessary. Similarly here also, B greater than C, only one statement. So we can avoid those braces. So this is also a correct program. If I compile it, I will get the correct output. So 3 is largest. So earlier I have written this one. Here I have an if condition. You just listen carefully. Here this is an example I have written for simple if. Here I have a condition. If that condition is true, I have to execute 2 statements. So here I can't remove this braces. If I remove this braces, only ratio equal to A plus B by C minus D will be considered as a statement inside this if statement. If I remove this braces, the statement which come immediately after that condition is only treated as a statement inside that condition. So these statements are called compound statements. Since we have more than one statement in the if condition, that is called compound statement. Compound. Statement. Sorry, I am using mouse to write, so it will be a bit difficult. So here it is compound statement. Here it is single statement. So somewhere you have to note these points. Okay. Any doubt in the nested if else? So inside if also we can add if else statement. Inside else also we can add if else statement. So you can further nest also. Inside this if also you can use another if else. Any number of if else nested statements can be added. So any doubt in this nested if else statement? If it is clear, please type clear in the chat box. If it is clear, I can move to the next statement. Okay, next is else if ladder. So used to evaluate a text expression that could have several possible values. If else if statement are often used to choose between ranges of value. So it is not similar to nested else if. First some condition will be checked. If it is false, again some condition will be checked. Again if it is false, some other condition will be checked. So if no conditions are matched, we have some other else statement, and that statement will be executed. So I will try to explain with the help of the syntax. First, expression 1 will be tested. If it is true, statement T1 will be executed, and remaining part will not be executed. So if it is true, no need to check the remaining part. If text expression 1 is false, then it will check expression 2. If it is true, statement T2 will be executed, and remaining statements will be skipped. You just imagine expression 1 is false, expression 2 is false, expression 3 is false. At some point, some expression n is true. At that time, that statement Tn will be executed. In other case, if text expression 1 is false, 2 is false, 3 is false, up to n is false, then I have an else statement. In that case, statement F is executed. So I will give some 15 seconds, just understand this properly. So this is called if-else, else-if ladder. Here if you look at the flowchart, first text expression 1 is tested. If it is true, statement 1 is executed, and the program will move to the next line. If it is false only, we will test the text expression 2. If it is true, it will go to the next line. So if a particular condition is satisfied, remaining things in that ladder will not be executed. So I will move to the example program. Okay. So what I have written here is calculate the average of physics, chemistry and maths and estimate grade based on the following table. So this is the table. You have to read marks of physics, chemistry and maths, and you have to find the average. And if the average is greater than, based on the average, I am calculating the grade. So I am creating a new file. Save as else if ladder .c. So I am not writing any documentation here. Main. Rishi Sagar.
Yes, sir.
How many inputs will be here?
5.
5. What's the question? Calculate the average of physics, chemistry and maths. So how many inputs will be there?
3.
3. Okay, very good. So I'm giving it as float. Okay, I will give it as int. P for physics, C for chemistry and M for maths. So to store average, I am declaring another variable called A. I'm giving it as A. So I'm reading physics, chemistry, maths, printf. Enter. Marks of then I am writing a scanf statement. Percentage D, comma, ampersand P, comma, ampersand C, comma, ampersand M, then I am finding average. A equal to Ranveer's.
Yes, sir.
How will I calculate average? Ranveer, how can I calculate average? Okay, anyway, I had to.
Sorry, sir. I not reminds.
How to find average of three numbers? Here I want to find average of P, C and M. Generally, what will you do?
Okay. A plus B plus C
So here-
divided by 3.
Here it is P plus C plus M. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. P plus. Okay, you can mute the mic. P plus C plus M by 3. Okay. So here I have one problem. Here float A is declared as float. P, C, M are declared as int. If you remember on example I told you in some example, if you remember, I told something like int A equal to 5. Float K, if I write K equal to A by 2, then what will be the output? K. Nuja, MB. Nuja, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What will be the output of this program? This one. What will,
Yes, sir. 1 million.
okay, the value of K will be 5.0. Sorry. Value of 5 by 2 is 2.5, so it will be 2.0. Because here A is integer, because A is declared as int, here 2 is integer, so it will be divided, and since it is integer division, it will give only quotient. That quotient is 2. I am storing it to a floating point number, so finally I will get an output like 2.0000. Some 5 zeros will be there. So to avoid that, you have to give a 2.0 here. So here A is int, but 2.0 is float. So one important point I am saying, if in an expression, here the expression is A by 2.0, which contains integer and floating points. Anyway, we will study this thing later while study typecasting. Now you just remember, now you just understand it. Here I have an expression. Here A is integer, float 2.0 is float. So the entire calculation will be done based on floating point calculation. So here A means 5. That 5 will be treated as a floating point number. So 5 internally it will be taken as 5.0. A is 5, but when I take that 5 for computation in this statement, since the another one is a floating point operator, that other operand also converted to floating point. So the rules of that conversion we study later. So now you just understand, like, if there is integer and floating point operands are in the same expression, the other operands are also converted to floating point. So here other operand means not A, it is 5. That 5 will be converted to 5.0. This A will be integer because it is declared as integer. That we can't change. We can change the value 5 to 5.0 while we compute K. Any doubt? Please ask. So here, for proper execution, I am giving 3.0. So any doubt you can ask in this 3.0. Okay. So anyway, we are going to study if-else statement. So just let us concentrate on that. So here there is a range of mark 90 to 100. So how will I write the condition? if a greater than or equal to 90 and so here I am combining two conditions. For that we are using logical operators and I am checking both conditions. A less than or equal to 100 printf. Here I have only one statement, so no need to put any braces. A plus semicolon. Then I am checking the next condition. Else if a greater than or equal to 80 and a here we had to a less than or equal to 89 printf a. Frida Sahuda,
Yes, sir.
what will be the next statement?
Else if a greater than or equal to 79, 77,
Greater than or equal to 70.
70. Double and logical and a less than or equal to 79.
Less than or equal to 79. What will be the next line?
Printf b plus.
Okay, you can mute the mic. Filsa Karim.
Yes, sir.
What will be the next statement?
Else if a less than or equal to 60, logical and a greater than or equal to 69.
Okay, then printf b. So similarly, I will write other two statements also. 50, 59. It is C plus here it is 40 and 49. So next thing you have to be careful. So here user can enter any value. User can enter any value. Sometimes he will enter 200. At that time I have to print an output like invalid value. Input like invalid value. You just keep that thing in your mind. If some person enters some values greater than 100 or some values less than 0, that you have to say it as a invalid value. So that point you have to keep in mind. So some thing you can write else and printf failed. So that one is also correct. But if someone enters some values greater than 100, there also it will print failed. If you give else, okay, I'll explain that printf. So I will do that, then I will explain it. Failed. So here, if a particular number didn't fall within these conditions, then it is treated as failed. In table also, if it is not in this condition it is treated as failed. So I'm executing the program.
It should be C, sir, in 19th line.
19th line. Okay, C.
It should be
C. Okay, here I have to put a semicolon. I missed it. That's error. So I'm giving something like 80, 90, and 80, 90, and some 50. So here it is B plus. So I will print the average value also. So I'm giving printf. Average equal to percentage f comma a. Slash n also. The average is 73.3 and the grade is B++ because it falls between 70 and 79. Okay.
Sir, in line number 3 we can write float also.
Okay, you can write float also because to understand this point only I have taken it as int and taken A as float. So here P, C and M are integer, but 3.0 is float. So while computation, the values of P, C and M will be converted to floating point. To understand that point only, I have given as PCM as int and A as float. Otherwise, you can use PCM as float. Then that problem will not occur here. Because P, C, M are already in float. Divided by 3 means that 3 will be automatically converted to float. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I am giving some value 100, 150, 200. So now average is 150 and it is showing failed. Actually, the entered marks are invalid. The entered marks are invalid. To handle that case, I am changing this else statement. I am adding one more else if. Listen carefully. A greater than or equal to 0 and A less than or equal to 39. 0 to 39 is failed. Then you can type failed. Here you can write invalid input. Okay. Again I'm giving 100, 200 and some 300. Average is 200 but it is showing invalid input. Again I am executing the program. I am giving 50, some 0 and some 10. The average will be 20 and it is showing failed. The main thing you have to remember in laddered else if is once the condition is found true, the remaining statements or remaining conditions will not be evaluated. That's the main point you have to remember. Any doubt in this example? Any doubt? If it is clear, please type clear in the chat box. Okay, one more topic is remaining in this group. Can I take it now or I have to wind up the class here. You can type your suggestions in the comment box. If anyone want to leave, you can leave. I will not take the topic because it is already some 1.5 hours. Okay, Rohit BP saying it is in next class, so I will take it in next class. No problem. Okay. So any doubt you can ask, otherwise I can wind up. Any doubts? Any doubts?
Sir, if we enter any negative value, then it also get a
Okay.
definite.
Let me try.
Then what?
Okay. Negative value. Yeah. It's a very good question. Then that means someone entering like this, minus 100, 100, and 100. So average is 33.333 failed. Actually, it is an invalid input. So in this
Yes, sir.
okay. This program didn't handle this condition. So anyway, no need to look into that because this program is only to understand laddered else if statement. Okay, we can make it by adding some more if statements. We have to check whether
Sir,
if p greater than
we can add PCM, sir.
yeah, one more condition you can add if p greater than 0
Yes.
and if c greater than 0 and if m greater than 0, then you can calculate these things. Otherwise you can print this invalid input. So no need to go in that extent. The only thing is to understand the
So we have to print that, we have to write that line before line number 8, master. If P is
yeah.
less.
You have to write it. Okay. So this program is only to understand else if ladder. So to handle that, I will make some more modification. So one more thing, I will take the attendance, and if anybody want to leave, they can leave also. So if anybody want to leave, you can leave, no problem. So to handle that, you have to make something like if p greater than 0 and so after line number 6, if some negative values are there, no need to calculate the average also. So if p greater than 0 and c greater than 0 and m greater than 0. So another one possibility is also there. If someone enters marks 100, 150 and another 50, that one is also correct. 100 plus 150 is 250, 250 plus 50 is 300. So we have to write much more stricter one. So actually it is greater than or equal to 0. So is the condition clear? Is the condition clear?
Yes, sir.
Then you have to find the average. So these entire things will come under that if statement. So I am putting a bracket here. Listen very carefully. So for understanding purpose, I am giving some space also. Okay. Now these much statements are inside this one. Else you can print invalid input. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
One more thing. So using this if condition, we are checking the invalid input, whether it is less than 0 or greater than 100. Using this if else statement, I am checking the invalid inputs. So there is no need of this invalid input here. It is actually of no use. So you can, instead of that, you can write something like, so no need of this invalid input, and you can write something like this one. If that falls in the range, and if all these conditions are false, then we can treat it as a failed condition. Okay, let me check. First I will give a negative value, minus 100, some 2, some 5, only for testing purpose, invalid input, okay. Then I am giving some larger values, 200, 0, 1, invalid input. So both the conditions are checked. Then I will give some 20, 20 and 10. Definitely these marks will come under failed. Average is 16 and it is failed. One more condition I will check. Suppose it is 50, 40 and again 50. So C, between 40 and 49. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, it was a very good doubt,
Yes.
and I think it helped you to study it more. So how to check multiple condition, how to use and like this. A lot of and ands are here. So here I forgot to add the space. So I will share the program also in the classroom. I will share the same program also.